Antarctica is the southernmost continent on Earth and is located almost entirely within the Antarctic Circle. It is the fifth largest continent, and it is also the coldest, driest, and windiest continent on Earth. It is covered in ice that is up to several kilometers thick, making it the largest ice sheet on Earth. Despite its extreme conditions, Antarctica is home to a diverse range of wildlife, including penguins, seals, whales, and various bird species. Many of these animals have adapted to the harsh environment, such as the emperor penguins, which huddle together in large groups to survive the extreme cold. Antarctica is also home to various research stations, which are operated by different countries around the world. These stations study various aspects of the continent, including its climate, geology, and biology. Antarctica is a unique environment that provides scientists with valuable insights into the Earth's history and its future. Due to its extreme environment and the difficulty of access, Antarctica has been relatively untouched by human activity. However, there are concerns about the impact of climate change on the continent, which is causing the ice to melt at an increasing rate. The melting of the ice could have significant implications for global sea levels, which could have a major impact on coastal regions around the world. In recent years, there has been increasing interest in Antarctica for its potential mineral and energy resources. However, there are strict international agreements in place to protect the continent's unique environment, and any exploration or exploitation of resources is closely regulated. Overall, Antarctica is a unique and fascinating continent that plays an important role in understanding the Earth's past and future. It is a fragile environment that needs to be protected, and international cooperation is essential to ensure its preservation for future generations. Antarctica was first discovered by the Russian explorer, Fabian Gottlieb von Bellingshausen, in 1820. It was not until the early 20th century that explorers from various countries began to make significant expeditions to the continent, including the famous British explorer, Robert Scott, who made a fatal attempt to reach the South Pole in 1912. Antarctica is governed by the Antarctic Treaty, which was signed by 12 countries in 1959. The treaty established Antarctica as a scientific preserve and banned any military activity on the continent. Today, the treaty has been signed by 54 countries, and it remains an important framework for cooperation in environmental protection in Antarctica. Antarctica is also home to the South Pole, which is located at the geographic center of the continent. The South Pole is a popular destination for tourists and scientists alike, and it is home to various research stations, including the Amundsen-Scott South Pole Station, which is operated by the United States. One of the most significant threats facing Antarctica today is climate change. The melting of the ice sheets could have major implications for the global climate, and there are concerns that the loss of the ice could accelerate the rate of climate change. In recent years, there has been a growing effort to study and monitor the changes in the Antarctic ice sheet, and to develop strategies to mitigate the impact of climate change on the continent. Despite the challenges and risks of working in Antarctica, many scientists and explorers are drawn to the continent for its unique environment and scientific opportunities. Antarctica remains a frontier for scientific exploration and discovery, and it is likely to continue to be a focus of research and international cooperation for many years to come. Antarctica is not only an important scientific destination, but it also holds cultural significance for many indigenous groups. The continent is home to the indigenous peoples of Antarctica, including the Inuit, the Yupik, and the Aleut, who have a deep connection to the land and the sea. These groups have been impacted by colonialism and climate change, and there are ongoing efforts to recognize their rights and protect their cultural heritage. Antarctica is also home to some of the largest ice shelves in the world, including the Ross Ice Shelf and the Ron Ice Shelf. These ice shelves are important for regulating global climate and sea level, and they are currently under threat from climate change. The loss of these ice shelves could have a significant impact on global sea levels and coastal regions around the world. In addition to scientific research, Antarctica is also a popular destination for adventure tourism. Visitors to the continent can take part in activities such as hiking, skiing, and kayaking, and there are also opportunities to visit research stations and learn about the unique environment of Antarctica. Despite the strict regulations and environmental protections in place, there are ongoing concerns about the impact of human activity on Antarctica. For example, marine pollution and overfishing are both threats to the fragile ecosystem of the Southern Ocean, which surrounds Antarctica. It is important for all nations to work together to ensure that the continent is protected and preserved for future generations. Overall, Antarctica is a fascinating and unique continent that holds important scientific, cultural, and environmental significance. As climate change continues to impact the continent, it is important for international cooperation and conservation efforts to ensure that Antarctica remains a valuable resource for scientific research and a symbol of global environmental stewardship. In conclusion, Antarctica is a unique and fascinating continent that holds significant scientific, cultural, and environmental importance. It is the coldest, driest, and windiest continent on Earth, and it is covered in ice that is several kilometers thick. Despite its extreme conditions, Antarctica is home to a diverse range of wildlife, and it is also a valuable destination for scientific research and exploration. Antarctica is governed by the Antarctic Treaty, which establishes the continent as a scientific preserve and bans any military activity. However, the continent is under threat from climate change, marine pollution, and overfishing, highlighting the need for international cooperation and conservation efforts to protect and preserve this fragile environment. As we continue to learn more about the continent and its impact on global climate and sea level, it is important for all nations to work together to ensure that Antarctica remains a valuable resource for scientific research and a symbol of global environmental stewardship for future generations.